So you are growing a survival garden this year to make sure that you and your family have plenty of healthy food to eat. Because getting food at the grocery store can be kind of hit and miss these days. Good for you. But don't forget to plant those medicinal herbs next to your potatoes and tomatoes. When you think of sage, you may think of Thanksgiving because Grandma puts so much in her dressing. In the right amounts, it's very yummy, and one reason it's one of my favorite herbs to grow. But not only is it a great herb to use in your food, it is also antiseptic, improves your memory, can soothe the sore throat and laryngitis. It helps calm nerves and can help lower your blood sugar. It can also decrease your milk supply, so unless you're trying to wean your child, you should avoid medicinal quantities of sage. But eating Grandma's dressing is safe. Sage is easy to grow in partial to full sun, but it can be a bit standoffish, so it needs to be about 2 feet away from other plants so it can spread out. It also likes to get a little dry between waterings, so let the soil dry out and then give it a thorough watering. About 1 inch a week should be good. I love pickles, so I grow a lot of dill every year. I also like it in dill dip, chopped into scrambled eggs, and mixed into my homemade bread. I've even been known to chew on a sprig of it while working in the garden. I love dill. Medicinal uses for dill include irritable bowel syndrome, menstrual cramps, increasing breast milk production, decreasing gas and bloating, and colic. It seems to be safe to give infants with colic, but ask your pediatrician. Dill really likes the sun and grows best in an area of your yard that gets 6 or more hours of direct sunlight per day. It also likes to be moist, so don't let the soil dry out. Holy basil or Tulsi can be made into a tincture or a tea to treat lung congestion, improve memory and concentration, and relieve stress. Topically in a liniment or salve, it can be used to treat fungal infections such as ringworm or athlete's foot. You should avoid Tulsi if you are on blood thinners or are pregnant and about to deliver because it can increase your risk of a bleed. Tulsi likes to grow in full sun and needs about 6 inches between plants. It likes to keep its friends close, but it doesn't like to be too wet, so allow the soil to dry out between waterings. Would you like a cheat sheet of what herbs can be used for what health issues? I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can get a free copy of what herbs to keep on hand for 10 common health conditions that your family may face. Catnip is a new herb in my garden this year. I've used it, but I've always purchased the dry herb and have never tried to grow it. Because we can't be sure of the availability of things we need, and it seems to be getting worse, I've decided to start some catnip plants to make sure I have it on hand when I need it. Catnip can be taken as a tea and is a mild nervine, which is a substance that decreases anxiety. It can help soothe GI cramping and is used for IBS and other intestinal disorders such as bloating and gas. Catnip should be avoided if you're pregnant, as some references report it could cause miscarriage. Since catnip is in the mint family, it is best grown in a pot to contain it. Keep the soil moist but not soggy. Evidently, catnip does make cats very happy and less anxious, but since I don't have cats and I've never grown catnip before, I've never witnessed their attraction to catnip. But evidently it's a thing. Arnica is another herb that is new to my garden, but it is very useful to prevent and treat bruising and swelling due to injuries. It is not useful as a culinary herb because it is toxic and should never be taken internally. Never. Period. It can be used in a liniment or salve to treat topical injuries, but make sure you mark the product for external use only. Arnica likes to grow in full sun with moist but not soggy soil. But don't let the soil dry out. If you've watched many of my videos, you know that chamomile is one of my favorite herbs because I love the taste of hot chamomile tea, and because it is so useful medicinally. Chamomile is another nervine and has some mild sedative properties, so it can help you get to sleep at night. It can also relieve muscle cramps, gas, abdominal cramps, and colic. Again, ask your pediatrician about giving your infant a small amount of chamomile tea for colic. Chamomile is also antimicrobial and works well against mouth infections such as gingivitis and canker sores. It can also be used in a steam inhalation to help respiratory infections. If you have serious allergies to any plant in the Asteraceae family, you may want to avoid chamomile. Chamomile likes to grow in partial to full sun and likes to dry out a bit between waterings. Chamomile seeds need the sun to germinate, so spread the seeds on the surface of the soil but do not cover them. While chamomile is an annual plant, which means it only lives 1 year, If you allow some of the flowers to go to seed, they will reseed the area and come up year after year. Calendula not only produces a beautiful medicinal orange flower, the flowers are also edible and can be added to salads. Calendula is great to treat any skin ailments such as rashes, wounds, or wrinkles. The flowers can be infused into an oil and be used as is, or made into a salve to be applied to skin issues. It is also a member of the Asteraceae family and should not be used internally if you are pregnant or nursing. Calendula plants like morning sun with afternoon shade, and don't overwater them. If you found this information helpful but want more information on growing herbs to keep yourself and your family healthy, click here. Thank you for joining me today to learn about medicinal herbs you need to be planting now. Stay healthy, do not take Arnica internally, and have a blessed week.